welcome back to part 3 of the Book One Cozies Club chapter by chapter for Haunted Homicide, the first book in the Haunted Mansion mystery series by Lucy Ness. I'm Di, and this is my audio-only reading vlog for this book. Today I will be reading chapters 9 through 12 and sharing my thoughts with you along the way. Due to the nature of this reading vlog, there will be spoilers, so if you haven't read these chapters yet, I suggest that you not listen to this recording until you have. If you would prefer to hear my general thoughts on this book in its entirety, keep an eye out for my Book One Cozies Club series First Impressions video, which will be posted sometime after the reading vlogs for this book have commenced. So how is everybody doing this evening? I am doing well. I'm getting started kind of late this evening. I got caught up in watching some Hollywood Graveyard, I believe is the channel name on YouTube. It's this guy named Andrew Dark, and he goes around to different graveyards and he points out celebrity graves. And so he, tells you a little bit about the actor, actress, athlete, creator, just famous person in general. And I find him to be very interesting. I watched him a while back, and for some reason I never subscribed, and just the other day I was thinking about his channel, and so I had looked through my feed, and it just so happened that one of his videos had popped up in my feed again, so I started watching again, and I just find it really fascinating, all the little facts and things, especially about the older Hollywood stars that I am not really familiar with, and the things that they worked on. And of course he also tells you how they died most of the time, so that's interesting to me as well. I know it's a bit morbid, but I find what he does fascinating. So anyway, I think that goes well with our book, considering we are dealing with a murder victim and we're also dealing with the spirit of someone. Not quite sure what the circumstances of her death is at this point, but I'm looking forward to getting into this book some more. I've been thinking that maybe we'll see a romantic relationship between Avery and the detective? Was he a detective? I'm not quite remembering correctly. I'm hoping there won't be a love triangle between that guy and the restorationist. At this point, it doesn't seem like the restorationist is interested in Avery, but of course things could turn around at any moment, especially since they'll be working in relatively close proximity to each other for a while he restores the marigold room. But anyway, I have babbled on enough for right now. I'm going to dive into chapter 9, and I will be back with you in a bit. So I just finished chapter 10. I'm not really enjoying Avery's interrogation style. Even though she's doing what the Women's Club board asked her to do, she's going about it very... I'm not sure what the word I'm looking for is, but it's very obvious that she's fishing for information. And if you've listened to any of my chapter by chapters in the past, you know that I don't really enjoy that type of investigative style. Now this one is a little bit different because she's actually been told by the board to find out, everybody's alibi. But, I don't know, I kind of feel like she could be a little bit more suave about it. Maybe? I'm very interested to know what's going on with Patricia. Do we think that she is being domestically abused? She seems to have an answer for all of her injuries, but it seems that for now a couple days in a row she's had fresh injuries both times Avery's seen her. So I wonder what's going on there. At first I thought maybe she was the one that got into a scuffle with Muriel and maybe that's why she had the bruises, but now there's more bruises, or at least scrapes. And unless I read that wrong, they were fresh. So, yeah, I'm wondering if she's being domestically abused. Some nice information we got there at the end of chapter 10 regarding Muriel's past and Agnes's past. That was very interesting. Based on what we were told of Tad, it doesn't seem like they'd be the likely pair, but then again, many years have passed since then, so maybe he was different way back when him and Agnes were engaged to each other. But I just wanted to pop in and let you know my thoughts. For the moment, I'm going to dive into chapter 11 right now, and I will be back with you in a bit. So I just finished chapter 12. Yep, still not enjoying Avery's investigative style. Her conversation with Brittany and Bill was kind of weird. Like, she was pushy and all, but I found the part about Brittany and Bill eating their dinner in front of her while she was asking them questions very strange. Like, I would feel uncomfortable eating in front of someone who's come to visit, regardless of what their mission was or what their purpose of being at my house was. I mean, I don't know about you, but I would definitely feel compelled to offer something, a plate, even if they refused it, I would still feel the need to offer them part of my meal. Just, I wouldn't sit down and start eating while they were still there. That's just rude. At least from my perspective it is. But yeah, I thought that whole scene was very odd. It was interesting though that Brittany and Bill were married to each other. Or were they married? I can't remember if it said that they were married, but seeing each other at least, I mean, that was interesting. Also, some interesting information has come out about the cook and some of the other ladies in regards to the background check that Oz did on them. Of course, his last remark to Avery before he left this time was that he had done a background check on her because he was interested. So I definitely think we're going to see a romantic connection between the two of them. I can't say I wasn't expecting it, and I think I would enjoy watching them get to know each other more and, start a relationship with each other. I forgot to say it in the previous section, but I'm glad that we got a little bit more information on the ghost in the basement. I'm still hoping we find out what happened to her and how she died in this one. Or in this installment, I should say. I don't think I mentioned at the beginning of my chapter by chapters for this one, but I know I mentioned it when I had announced this selection. The second book in this series is already out. It came out in April 2021, and I know that the ghost that is portrayed on the cover of this installment is also portrayed on the cover of the next installment. So that is very interesting to me, and yeah, I'm hoping that we find out how Clementine, ended up as a spirit at the women's club. I've also noticed that in the past sections of this chapter by chapter, I've said hotel a lot when I was referencing the women's club, and I'm not sure why. Hotel just seems to roll off the tongue, even though, I know there aren't people staying over there besides Avery, but just having all those conference rooms and there being a lunching area, dining area, and with the cooks and everything, I just equate that type of environment to a hotel, especially because when I go to take conferences for my occupation, they're usually in hotels and in conference rooms with dining areas and things like that. So, yeah, pardon me if I say hotel again in the future when referring to the women's club. I'm still very intrigued by what's going on in this book. I'm enjoying reading the story and watching clues and things come out. And even though I'm not really enjoying Avery's investigative style at this point, I'm hoping that as we get further along in this book, maybe even further along in this series, that she'll kind of finesse her investigative style. This is definitely new for her, and I think, with all amateur sleuths, it's always a new situation, them getting into investigating something. But I think that the fact that she is the new business manager, maybe that is why she's coming across so aggressive. Maybe it's just that part of her professionally that is leading to her investigative style being the way it is. And so, for now, it's alright. I am, like I said, still enjoying the story. I'm still interested to see how this story unfolds, finding out more about Clemmy, finding out more about maybe the fire, if there's anything more to learn about that. Also interested in Muriel's husband and maybe what's going on with Patricia, because she's definitely getting some strange injuries and they're rather frequent. So I'd like to find out for sure what's going on with her and ultimately get to who killed Muriel. So that will do it for me tonight. Let me know what your thoughts are on these chapters. I will be back with you tomorrow for chapters 13 through 16. I hope you're all having a great evening, and I will talk to you later. Bye.